All right, welcome back to the show, everybody. Hope you all are having a good day so far. So, guess what? Happy 23rd, everybody. It is the 23rd, and we're going to celebrate Michael Jordan today. It's nice because it has been a crazy month in basketball. I'll tell you, it's been a crazy month to have a basketball YouTube reaction channel because there has been so much wild stuff going on, but I'll tell you, it's nice to just take a break, not think about all the current news for a day, and tomorrow as well. Tomorrow we're going to celebrate Kobe in the 24th, so not going to care about whatever the hell's going on in current basketball news for a couple of days. In case you guys don't know, we do this every single month over here, every 23rd, every 24th. That's a Jordan day and then a Kobe day, so I'll be doing a Jordan reaction here and a Jordan reaction for the After Dark later, and yeah. Let's go ahead and do it. So happy 23rd, everybody. I can't believe we're here again. February is almost done. I don't know what the hell is going on, but time is flying, and I appreciate you being here day after day. And it's cool, man. Seeing you all in the comments every single day. You know, it's like we're having a multi-year long conversation. It's pretty badass. I appreciate you guys. Let's do this though. Let's get right into the celebration. This is a video from Hoops Central Throwback, and I've reacted to a couple of videos from this channel. Good stuff. This one is titled 1997 Michael Jordan Took It Personal. This was submitted to me from the members section, so shout out to you guys. I appreciate you guys. I'm never in need of videos to react to. I'll tell you that. Thanks to you guys, and I really appreciate it. So, all right, I'm going to link the original video down below in the description like I always do if you want to check out this channel. Also, like I already said, super shout out to members. There's a list down below, down there in the description as well. And guys, like the vid if you could. Hit that hype if you got any. I'd appreciate it. And let's do this. Let's appreciate 1997 Michael Jordan. I would say 96 Jordan took it personal, but I'm interested to see what this angle is going to be about 97 Jordan taking it personal. Because 97 is the least talked about year in that three-peat run, which always makes sense. It's the middle child of the three-peat. But let's see.
June 11th, 1997. Delta Center, Salt Lake City.
Okay.
He shouldn't have been out there. He couldn't eat, could barely walk.
Oh, yeah.
Trainers told him to stay in bed. His teammates were getting dressed for Game 5. Michael Jordan, he was curled up on the hotel floor.
You want to know what's funny? I saw a comment recently that said, we found out that Jordan didn't have that Jordan didn't have the flu. He had food poisoning that day. You know, he's a liar. And I was like, it was the dumbest thing. I was like, dude, watch the Last Dance documentary. There's like a 30 minutes all about that exact same thing. And Jordan literally says it was food poisoning. Like, what the hell? It's like you thought you got him and you can cancel Jordan all of a sudden because you caught him in a lie, like dumbasses. Do your research.
Shaking. The Bulls were slipping. They dropped 2 straight games in Utah, and the series was tied 2-2. The Jazz were undefeated at home all playoffs. And the greatest player in the world was...
I didn't realize that. Jazz were undefeated at home the entire playoffs, did he say?
2 straight games in Utah, and the series was tied 2-2. The Jazz were undefeated at home all playoffs.
That's crazy.
And the greatest player in the world was at his weakest. But somehow, he showed up. And what followed became legend.
Jordan on the move, baseline left. Oh, no! Jordan, crossover.
This wasn't just a game, it was a war of willpower. And if you've never seen a man drag his soul across the finish line, strap in. Because tonight, the flu wasn't the only thing that didn't stand a chance. So let's rewind and watch a man hunt down respect like it owed him money.
Yeah, if you guys haven't gone back to watch that game, the flu game or whatever, the food poisoning game, it is insane to see. It's literally like watching, I don't know, like Rocky IV. You know, it's got that same feel, but it's real life. So this is going to be all about the game?
Coming off one of the greatest seasons in NBA history.
Nice. I was hoping it was going to cover all the 97.
The Chicago Bulls wasted no time proving they were still on top. They opened the year with 12 straight wins and cruised into the All-Star break 42-6. They weren't just good, they were chasing history again. In their final regular season game, they had a chance to become the only back-to-back 70-win team in NBA history. But when Scottie Pippen's game-winning 3 rimmed out against the Knicks in their last...
Ooh, did you say rimmed out? Did you say rimmed out, sir? That did not come close to the rim.
In their last regular season game, Chicago settled for a 69-13 record.
That's why I love you, Scotty, but you needed a closer.
Still first in the league, but just shy of the historic mark.
That's crazy.
But Michael Jordan wasn't coasting. He wasn't satisfied. He was still coming for everything. But then something strange happened. After a season like that...
Oh, yeah, okay. I get you. I get you. Yeah, he did take this personal.
Jordan had a strong case to win MVP in 1997.
In fact, if I remember correctly, sorry for all the pauses, but if I remember correctly, in The Last Dance, he did say, yeah, you can have that MVP. I'm going to get this one, regarding the finals MVP.
The year before, he had averaged 30.4 points, 6.6 rebounds, and 4.3 assists, while leading the Bulls to an NBA record 72 wins and their 4th championship. He won the MVP nearly unanimously, finishing with 109 votes. The only thing keeping him from a clean sweep were 4 stray votes for Penny Hardaway, Hakeem Olajuwon, and Karl Malone.
Wow.
In 97, the Bulls didn't quite match their record-shattering pace, but 69 wins was still an incredible follow-up.
Yeah, I was having this conversation with a couple of buddies of mine recently, too. Because we were talking about, like, the question came up, like, how many MVPs does Jordan have? And I was like, dude, there's something to this, too, though. Because I was trying to explain that back then, the same thing that's going on with Jokic now was happening to Jordan, which was MVP voter fatigue. Because honestly, like, every year that he played a full season, after, I'd say, from, like, 1988 on, he could have won the MVP in my mind, but it was voter fatigue. And the same thing with Jokic. I can say for the last, like, 5 years, Jokic, in my opinion, has been the MVP. But he doesn't have 5 MVPs because we got to spread that love around a little bit. So, same thing happened to him.
Jordan's
this is one of those years. 97, who was the MVP? I mean, come on now. That's like in 93. I know, like, I like to say Barkley, give him his praise. But come on now, who was really the MVP in 93? It was MJ.
But it's dipped only slightly to 29.6 points, 5.9 rebounds, and 4.3 assists. Considering the target on their backs and the championship hangover felt throughout the organization, it was still an unbelievable season for Mike. Meanwhile, out west...
Karl Malone, pick and roll.
To the mailman, make a 3, drive to the alley.
LeBron James.
Karl Malone was having the year of his life. After years of falling short, he finally pushed the Jazz to the top of the conference standings with a 64-18 record.
Good.
And when the MVP votes came in, Malone edged Jordan by just 29 votes, the second closest margin in league history. Jordan had the scoring title, he had the wins, he had the case, but for some people, it wasn't enough. And in Chicago, some people felt like it had less to do with Malone's brilliance and more to do with voters simply being tired of giving the award to Jordan.
Absolutely.
The Bulls head coach.
That's why the very next year they gave it to him again, because they're like, okay, the fatigue is gone after 1 year. We'll give it to you again.
Phil Jackson wasn't afraid to say it out loud. We won 69 games this year, mostly on the energy of Michael and Scottie Pippen, Jackson told the Chicago Tribune. We had mishaps with Dennis Rodman and Luke Longley, so we were not together as a unit the whole year. Karl played with that unit the whole season, and they had no injuries. He did his job, there's no doubt about it. But for the excess weight that was put on our team and still to win 69 games, there's no earthly explanation, except that Michael won it so many times, and this year may be Malone's opportunity. Malone himself...
Yeah, and that's it. That's I agree with him 100%. And then Jordan had it even rougher in 98, so I'm glad he got recognized for that, because that was a hard year for the Bulls.
Even seemed to sense the whispers around his MVP. After receiving the award, he couldn't resist poking the bear.
Don't get me wrong, by the way. Karl Malone played his ass off that year. He deserves some recognition, too. I might personally not like him because I know too much about the guy. But as a basketball player, this was it. Like, this was the best it gets for Karl Malone. And I guess I guess give him an MVP. Yeah, it's fine. But, I mean, in my heart of hearts, I'll always be honest. And really, the true MVP was Michael Jordan. And that's not just because I'm a fan. Like, if I was just a fan of the game watching, like, it's obvious who the MVP was.
Michael for letting me borrow it for 1 year. Oh, he probably shouldn't have said that. Publicly, Jordan played it cool. He congratulated
Look at that stare, dude. Look at that stare.
Probably shouldn't have said that. Publicly,
they're not hugging. They're not dabbing up. They're not doing none of that. It's like, I'm gonna take you down, motherfucker.
Jordan played it cool. He congratulated Malone, downplayed the snub, and reminded people that being in the conversation year after year was already an honor. Because of the opinion of others, they choose to give it to a guy that's been in the league as long and consistent as I was, Jordan said at the time. But decades later, Jordan's The Last Dance documentary revealed the truth. That MVP race lit the fire. Malone's trophy became one of MJ's signature, and I took that personally moments.
I'm not saying he wasn't deserving of it. All I'm saying is that fueled the fire in me and say, okay, you think he's the MVP? Okay, fine, no problem.
Love it.
Even this late in...
And it seems like psychotic, but this is what he needed to get motivated. I mean, the guy was like, at this point, he's going for his 5th championship. You know what I mean?
His career, even with 4 championships already, Jordan was still hunting for any excuse to sharpen his edge.
Yeah.
And when the playoffs tipped off,
kaboom,
the Bulls came out blazing. They entered as the heavy favourites to repeat, with Jordan and Pippen at the height of their powers. After sweeping Washington in the first round, they drew the 4-seeded Atlanta Hawks, a team led by Steve Smith, Christian Leitner, Mookie Blaylock, and Dikembe Mutombo. On paper, this was supposed to be a quick series, but Atlanta stole Game 2 at the United Center, 103-95.
Hey, man, young Steve Smith was no joke.
After a brutal third quarter from Chicago and a 13-point explosion from Steve Smith in the fourth, Jordan was furious.
Is that where that image comes from? Mike walked
into the locker room and he killed every one of those guys, one Bulls player told the Los Angeles Times. Phil and his assistants just leaned up against the wall. He was going up and down the lockers. You guys don't know what it takes to win, and just kill them all.
Wow.
It was the greatest speech you ever heard. And when it was done, Phil just said, that's it. Whatever.
That's awesome. Phil didn't even have to do his job that night. He didn't have to coach. He's like, yep, all right, what MJ said.
Jordan said it worked. Yeah. In Game 3, Chicago came out with vengeance.
That's it.
Holding Atlanta to just 36% shooting in a 100-80 blowout.
It reminds me of Larry Bird's got a story like this too in the 80s. I mean, guys, I'm quoting, okay? This is not my own words, but it was a different time back then. I'm pretty sure he called everybody like a bunch of sissies, you know, and basically was like so pissed off at the team, and then that was enough. That lit a spark up their ass. So this feels very reminiscent of that. The star goes in, just destroys the team, and then they rise up like a phoenix.
From there, the Bulls took control and finished the series in 5 games.
It's scoreless here in the fourth quarter.
Stevie Kerr.
Next up, a red-hot Miami Heat team. Fresh off a 7-game war against the Knicks, that 1997 playoff run was the deepest the Heat had gone since joining the league in 1988. It felt like a major breakthrough for Miami, especially with the legendary Pat Riley calling the shots. On paper, the Eastern Conference Finals looked like it could be explosive, but that was only possible if the stars from both sides showed up every single night. For Miami, that didn't happen. Alonzo Mourning and Tim Hardaway were supposed to lead the charge. But
I'm surprised those two didn't make it to a finals. Well, never mind. They had to deal with Jordan, of course. Man, that was a hell of a team, that Miami team, with great leadership with Pat Riley. These guys were tough as nails and skilled.
Bulls figured them out almost immediately. Chicago's defense locked in, and before the Heat knew it, they were staring at a 3-0 deficit. Morning, in particular, looked shaken. In Game 3, he finished with just 12 points and 9 rebounds. And even worse, he turned the ball over 9 times. That opened the door for Hardaway to step up. But instead, he got swallowed up by Chicago's defense.
Yeah.
The 6-foot guard ended up with only 6 points, 4 rebounds, and 5 turnovers.
Dude, that defense, incredible.
Of his own. Michael Jordan summed it up best. We've made a concentrated effort not to let him get in rhythm like he did against New York. Ron Harper's doing a great job, physically just banging him. We've closed the lanes and made sure he didn't have any outlets to throw to.
That's awesome.
There was never any doubt about Morning's physical gifts. But against Chicago, the real issue wasn't his body, it was his mind.
This video is awesome, by the way. This is like a freaking documentary. Thank you for the suggestion.
Without mental toughness, pure strength and athleticism only carried him so far. And that's where
Dennis
Rodman came in. Rodman was shorter than Morning by 2 or 3 inches, but the Worm was a master at psychological warfare. He loved nothing more than crawling into an opponent's head and breaking them down from the inside.
Going back to that video that was regarding who'd win the 96 Bulls versus the 2016 or 2017, whatever, Golden State Warriors. That was one thing that got brought up in the comments a lot, and I totally agree. Dennis was going to be such a wild card because he was probably going to get Draymond eliminated from every game. Suspended, eliminated, whatever. Double teched. He was going to end up getting in Draymond's head because Dre's not used to a crazier person on the court, and Dennis is like Draymond times 10. So I think that was a very valid thing. You probably don't have to worry too much about Draymond in that series.
Even Jordan called Morning out for losing his composure, pointing to how Rodman's relentless antics threw Zoe completely off his game.
Yeah.
The Heat managed to salvage one win in Game 4.
And Alonzo's a strong. He's strong-minded.
Posted
Dre's
18
not.
points and 14 rebounds, while Hardaway led the way with 25. But asking Miami to win 4 straight games against a locked-in Bulls team was impossible. Sure enough, Chicago closed it out in Game 5 and punched their ticket to a second straight NBA Finals. That wasn't a playoff run, it was a slow execution. Jordan carved through the East with surgical precision, but the real war was waiting in the West. The Utah Jazz, the mailman, Karl Malone was the single biggest source of Jordan's motivation for the postseason. Malone wasn't some pushover. He finished second in scoring behind MJ at 27.4 points per game, ranked 10th in rebounds with 9.9 a night, and shot an incredible 55% from the field. And with John Stockton running the point, Utah was dangerous. They had split the regular season series with the Bulls, tied them for the league's best offense at 103.1 points per game, and even edged Chicago in field goal percentage. But the finals didn't start in Utah, they started in Chicago, and the Bulls immediately set the tone. Game 1 was a classic nail-biter. With 35.8 seconds left, Jordan tied the game at 82 by hitting 1 of 2 free throws. Then came the famous moment. With 9.2 seconds left, Rodman fouled Malone and sent him to the line.
Rebounds. 9 and 2 seconds to go. Scorers tied. 9
This
seconds
is make or break. This will make or break a man. Yeah, there's a different type of pressure. There's a different type of pressure in these types of situations. Not everyone is built for this, you know, and a lot of us will never know if we are actually built for this because we never get this opportunity.
Rebounded by Jordan.
Karl Malone, though? Nope. You know, there's a weakness. It's kind of like LeBron. Put him on the line, you know, with the game on the line. You'll be happy.
That's when Scottie Pippen walked over and delivered one of the coldest lines in finals history.
Yes, he did.
Remember, Carl, the mailman don't deliver on Sundays. Malone bricked both shots. Jordan snagged the rebound, called a timeout, and then, because of course, hit a 20-footer at the buzzer.
Force the fadeaway jumper. Don't foul. Jazz over the foul limit. We're down to 5. Jordan putting moves on Russell. We're down to 2. Now to 1. Here's Jordan.
And some other men are just built for this type of moment, man.
Bulls up, 1-0. Or as Mark Heisler of the LA Times...
I mean, right there, you could already tell who's the real MVP. Who just came through? Who's more valuable for their team? Just after that last thing, 2 missed free throws from Karl Malone, game-winning jumper, ISO by MJ. I know my vote.
Let's put it, MVP voters proposeth, but Michael Jordan disposeth. Chicago kept rolling in Game 2 with a 97-85 win. Stockton struggled under Ron Harper's defense, and Malone followed up his rough opener by going just 6 for 20 from the field.
Good
to make
defense.
Matters worse,
who was that? Who came in to help?
Rough opener by going just 6 for 20 from the field.
Scotty, big block.
To make matters worse, he re-aggravated a hand injury he had picked up during the Western Conference Finals. When the series shifted to Salt Lake City, though, the Jazz finally punched back. Malone dropped 37 points in Game 3, with Stockton adding 17 points and 12 assists. Game 4 belonged to Stockton. Clutch buckets, huge defensive plays, and a brilliant pass late to tie the series at 2 apiece.
Game 4 of the NBA Finals with the Bulls up 2 games to 1. And Jordan comes up court. Stockton fires down on Malone.
The Bulls, surprisingly, melted down in crunch time. But maybe it wasn't just Utah's execution, maybe it was Chicago's own trainer. After the fact, it came out that an assistant accidentally swapped out the team's Gatorade for Gator Load, a carb-loading drink meant for endurance athletes, not for an in-game refreshment during a taxing basketball match.
I never
Trainer
heard
Chip Schaefer
what?
later explained.
Oopsie, hold on.
It was a taxing basketball match. Trainer Chip Schaefer later explained, it was like eating baked potatoes. The result? Several Bulls, including Jordan, suffered stomach cramps.
No way.
MJ even asked to sit out briefly, something he almost never did in a big moment. Another reason the Bulls slowed down might have been a noted defensive adjustment.
Did you guys ever hear about that? I never even heard of Gator Load, let alone that there was a mix-up.
Jazz coach Jerry Sloan made after the finals move to Salt Lake City. He assigned the relatively unknown specialist Brian Russell to guard Jordan. Jordan's efficiency dropped in Utah, shooting just 41% from the field, and with fewer trips to the free throw line, he scored 31 and 38 points in Game 1 and 2. He managed only 26 and 22 in Games 3 and 4. But if Russell thought he'd found the formula to stop MJ, he should have kept it quiet. Instead...
Yeah, we all know how this ends.
Jordan mocked the idea that Russell had the answer. His defense is active, but I don't see how it's stopping me from doing what I want. Is it Brian or Byron? Russell fired back.
I still don't know sometimes, man. It's Byron Russell, right?
I can get him back. Is it Michael or Michelle?
Oh, why you gotta do that, man? Why you gotta do that? I hope Karl Malone and John Stockton was just like, hey, man, you just blew the finals for us, bro.
Ouch. Talk about poking the bull. And if there's one thing everyone knew, it was that Jordan could take even the smallest slight and turn it into a bonfire.
Yeah, now there's 2 of them. Now there are 2 of them. He's got Karl Malone and Russell. He's gonna come after.
Good thing too, because the finals tied, the Jazz surging, and Jordan running out of help. The Bulls needed every ounce of fuel he could find. And then came the night MJ should never have played.
Yeah.
There are countless theories about what really happened the night before Game 5. Some say it was altitude sickness. That's the version Steve Kerr has mentioned. Jalen Rose has claimed Jordan may have had a little too much to drink. But the most popular story? Food poisoning. The Bulls were staying in Park City, Utah, and the resort had no room service. Late at night...
How would Jalen Rose know, by the way?
Jordan asked his trainer, Tim Grover, to grab him something to eat. The only option? A local pizza place.
No room service. Michael gets hungry. So, all right, so we're calling all these different places. George and I are looking around. We find one pizza place open. One.
So we ordered a pizza. And when the pizza came, there was 4 or 5 guys outside the door.
5 guys delivering one pizza.
Grover has always said he thought the delivery guys knew exactly who the pizza was for.
And they're all trying to look in, and, you know, everybody knew it was my... So I take the pizza, I pay them, and I put this pizza down, and I said, I got a bad feeling about this.
Around 3 a.m., Grover got a call back to Jordan's room. Mike was doubled over sick.
I wake up about 2:30, throwing up left and right.
3 o'clock in the morning, I get a call. My room, hey man, come to the room right now. All right, I get into him. He's literally curled up in a ball, shaking. He goes, man, find a team doc, now.
Grover and the team doctor went into treatment mode, and for a while, there was real doubt he'd even suit up. But Jordan was clear. Just get me standing, I'll do the rest. With Jordan far from 100%, the Bulls leaned more on Scottie Pippen. The idea was simple.
And I think nowadays, if you got like a sore ankle or a sore sore calf or knee, you just sit out. This guy can barely stand. He can't even like hold down any solid food, and he's getting out there. If I can stand, I can play. How drastically things have changed just in my lifetime.
Run the triangle through Pippen in the post, force Utah to send help, and then swing it back to Jordan or kick it to cutters and shooters. Problem was, the Jazz were ready. They contested every post entry, smothering Pippen, and forced Jordan to create more than he wanted. By the end of the first quarter, Chicago trailed 29-16. Jordan had just 4 points and looked absolutely drained.
Yeah.
His teammates weren't helping. They botched easy passes, gave Stockton free lanes to the rim.
Yeah, I remember reacting to, I think it might have been the whole game, in fact, a while back. And I remember going in, because it's been a long time since I watched it, and thinking back to when I've had like the flu or been just incredibly sick on a long day at work, like a 12-hour shift, and it's the same thing. It starts out terrible. Then, you know, the second and third quarter, the second quarter, you're starting to feel good, but then you rest at halftime, which would be like a lunch break. You know, you rest a little bit, and then the third quarter is so bad, you know, because like, oh, here we go again. But then you start feeling better. The fourth quarter, you're okay. You're decent. But that's what was needed out of MJ, you know. He needed to be able to close out strong, and he did.
And even surrendered offensive rebounds off missed free throws. The Bulls finally woke up in the second. Jordan clawed his way back into the fight, dropping 17 points and drawing 5 shooting fouls. Suddenly, Utah was reminded who they were up against. Harper, Kukoc, Pippen, and Longley chipped in with big plays, while Dennis Rodman forced Malone to pick up his third foul, forcing the mailman to sit for the last 5 minutes of the half.
Attaboy, Dennis.
Chicago cut the deficit to just 4 at the break. The third quarter was rough for Jordan again, but this time, his teammates carried the load. The Bulls' defense slowed Utah's high-power offense, controlling the pace and buying Jordan the energy he needed for the final frame. Utah led 72-67 heading into the fourth quarter. But if you knew anything about Jordan, you knew what was coming. Right on cue.
Watching this game live was absolutely crazy. Just, there's nothing quite like this that I've ever seen.
He opened the fourth with 7 points in 2 minutes and assisted Kukoc on a transition 3. But every burst of brilliance
seemed a risky shot, man.
To drain him completely.
Big time, though.
At one point, cameras caught him slumped on the bench with an ice pack on his neck, too exhausted to even high-five or stand up. Then, seconds later, he was sprinting back onto the court, pulling up over Russell for another jumper. The game slowed into a grind. Chicago's defense squeezed Utah, while Malone unraveled, missing free throws, settling for jumpers, and picking up fouls. Stockton nailed a deep 3 to break even at 82 apiece, with 3 minutes left. But Jordan immediately answered. This wasn't basketball anymore, it was survival. Even when his body failed, Jordan still found ways to win. With under a minute left, he missed a free throw, but scrambled for the rebound himself, keeping Chicago alive.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's a warrior.
Tie game. Then came the moment. Jordan dumped the ball into Pippen, guarded by the smaller Jeff Hornacek. Russell came off.
By the way, I always really enjoyed this whole sequence. One, Jordan with the hustle.
With under a minute left, He missed a free throw.
Big time right here.
Scrambled for the rebound himself.
And then watch Scottie Pippen. Scottie Pippen takes charge here as a floor general. And this was a big time move that Scottie Pippen made here. He's demanding it.
Chicago alive.
Give me the ball. Give me the ball. Give me the ball.
Then came the moment.
All right. Jordan didn't want to give it up at first. Scottie had a plan here, though. And watch how well this plan works.
Dumped the ball into Pippen. Guarded
Jordan's
by the...
dead. Like, he's absolutely dead. His head's down, and he's just like, oh, my God.
Smaller Jeff Hornacek. Russell came off MJ to double, leaving Jordan alone.
In the post. See, he's demanding it in the post now. All right? Jordan's trusting him. This is why these types of relationships are beautiful in sports. They've been together so long. Trust them. All right.
Pippen kicked it back out.
Bang.
And Jordan...
I don't know if he knew this was going to happen, but it works out so well. Watch this.
Drilled the three.
Double team. Why did you leave Jordan? Why did you do it? You fell right into Scotty's trap. Why would you leave Jordan alone with 28 seconds left in the game? Bang.
Late contest.
To perfection. I love that sequence so much.
Malone could only stand under the rim and watch as the ball went through the net. The mailman was rattled. On the Jazz' next defensive stand, with Utah down 1 and just 14 seconds left, he either forgot to foul or froze, and the Jazz lost their chance to stay in the game. Even Bill Walton, calling the game, couldn't believe it. Jordan could barely stand, but he stood taller than anyone else. The reigning MVP, watching. The world, stunned. Jordan had just given them another reason to never doubt him again. He finished with 38 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals, and a block.
How are you going to play that above your average when you're that sick? Unless you're just that guy.
One of the most legendary finals performances ever. Yeah. People compare it to Magic's rookie masterpiece in 1980.
That's fair.
Or LeBron's Game 6 in 2016. The difference? Jordan did it in 44 minutes of grueling game action while barely able to walk.
I agree.
Scottie Pippen summed it up best after the game. The effort that he gave us today was unbelievable. We really appreciate the way he stepped up and showed his leadership for our ball club.
Crazy.
The Bulls had just one day off before Game 6, but by then, Jordan had somewhat shaken off the food poisoning. He scored big again, but this time, someone else stole the spotlight late.
Oh, yeah.
With the game tied at 86 and 28 seconds left, Phil Jackson drew up a play for Mike. In the huddle, he addressed Steve Kerr and told him to be ready. Sure enough, Stockton doubled off Kerr, Jordan dished, and Kerr buried the jumper with 5 seconds left.
I love that sequence a lot too, man. It's poetry.
On the final play, Pippen stole the inbound pass from Russell and found Kukoc for a dunk at the buzzer. The Bulls clinched their 5th title, and Jordan walked away with his 5th finals MVP, averaging 32.3 points, 7 boards, 6 assists, and a couple of stocks.
And if you guys remember, he averaged 29 this season. So once again, on the biggest stage, he stepped up.
Over the series. Utah's Stockton Malone era produced 18 straight playoff runs, 12 50-win seasons, and even 3 years with 60-plus wins.
I mean, I bet the Utah fans feel much like the Suns because we were doing the same thing. Year after year, we were right there. Never sealed the deal, and the only time we got to the finals in that era, MJ took it away from us.
But against Jordan, they met the same fate as Patrick Ewing, Clyde Drexler, Charles Barkley.
Yep, there it is.
And so many others. That guy was just better.
Yeah.
And when Jordan had something extra driving him, game over. The regular season MVP, Malone could keep it. Jordan was after the only trophy that mattered. In the end, Karl Malone's MVP trophy became nothing more than a footnote in Jordan's story. The mailman had the hardware, but Jordan had something more dangerous, a grudge. That 1997 finals wasn't just about winning another championship. It was Jordan reminding everyone who really ran this league. The flu game became instant mythology, but the real story was simpler. You could beat Jordan in a vote, but you couldn't beat him when it mattered. Malone would get one more shot at Jordan in 98, one more chance to prove those MVP voters right. Spoiler alert, it wouldn't go any better.
Nope.
Because Michael Jordan didn't just collect championships, he collected souls. And in 1997...
Was he Shao Tsung from Mortal Kombat? Your soul is mine.
He showed the world that even at his weakest, he was stronger than everyone else at their best. The throne wasn't up for debate. It never was. If you thought the flu game was just about 38 points while sick, you missed the point. This was Jordan in revenge mode. And revenge, in his hands, was unstoppable. Comment below your favorite Jordan moment from 1997. If you enjoyed this video, hit the hype button.
I loved this video.
And remember to like and subscribe because there's plenty more videos on the way.
Man, happy 23rd. What a great video. Yeah, it's crazy. His will for revenge was stronger than the poison in his body. And that's about all I have to say about that. It's... You know, I'm getting older now, right? So going back and watching this stuff, it's like I do put it in a category of a movie almost because it's so surreal that this was reality. This really happened. I was in front of the TV watching this when it happened. Like it's crazy because everything else we see that is anything reminiscent of a superhero. You know, obviously it's fiction. It's a comic book or a movie or a TV show or whatever. But this shit happened in real life. And that's the thing that still blows my mind to this day. How he was able to do this year after year. And then he does it again in 98. He did it the year before. And every single year it seems like Mission Impossible. But somehow he pulls through. And... You know, we talk about the 93 Suns a lot around here, and because that was his best finals. Like, how the hell are you going to score 41 points a game? Like, what possesses a man to rise up to that level? You know, you're averaging 30 a game throughout the entire season. What's possessing you to go up 33%? To up your production 33%? In the hardest series against the best team in the league other than your own team. Like, how the hell do you do it and do it over and over and over again? Not one, not two, not three, not four, not five, 6 times, you know? And if you count his other championships, you know, we got 1 in the NCAA and we got 2 when it comes to Olympic basketball. It's just phenomenal. Anyways, I am out of here, guys. We will continue this celebration later tonight for the After Dark. Can't wait to see you all in the comments as usual, and I appreciate y'all watching and hanging out with me on the 23rd. I love this day. I hope you guys do too. So I'm out of here, guys. Like the vid, all that good stuff. Subscribe, hit that bell if you want to get notified for the After Dark tonight. And most importantly, is to be water, my friends. Peace out, everybody.